From Super League to Olympic distance to age group world records to Kona. Go longer with the right fuel at the right time with SFuels.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob Championship Edition from beautiful St. George, Utah. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Master Spa, Zoot Sports, the original triathlon brand, HOKA, Let's Fly, SFuels, Go Longer, Biostarks.com. Use the code BWB for a 10% discount. Quintanaroo, Form Smart Swim Goggles, Zions Bank, Premium Plus Sports, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, the resume goes on, but Olympic champion, six-time Xterra world champion, 2016 ITU cross triathlon champion. You name it, she has won it. I think last I checked, 11 world titles. Is it more now? Flora Duffy joins us. How you doing, Flora?
Hi, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I mean, it's the day after the race, so I'm a little sore, a little tired. But yeah, I'm glad to be sitting here.
Well, and the cool part is we just had Taylor Knibb leave, and you've sort of watched her in this sport. She came out of sort of nowhere in 2017 in Edmonton, and 19 years old, and you guys are battling on the bike.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely had a firsthand look of Taylor's rise in the sport, and it's absolutely no surprise to see what she's doing, what she did yesterday. She's a really phenomenal athlete, and I think as she's, gotten older, kind of, slowly developed as an athlete, yeah, she's really strong. And I think my first exposure to her was in 2016 in Stockholm.
Okay.
And that was actually the first world triathlon race that I won. And I soloed off the front. And there was this young American girl on the chase pack just charging on the front. And I was like, who is this? And then later after the race, she came up to me and said, oh, it was really cool to watch you race. And I was like, wait, but you were in the race with me. Like, you were the one bringing down that gap. And then, yeah, for the rest, I've raced her a bunch, and it's always been a great battle with her on the bike.
And then in 2021, you were winning the series, the WTCS series, and she wins the race, but you needed to finish third to get it. So you, again in Edmonton, got another up-close and personal look at where she came from and where she's going.
Yes. I mean, I ideally would have liked to have won that race.
Of course.
But yeah, Taylor had a great swim. I came out of the swim a little bit back, and I was charging up to the front, and I could see her going for it. And I was like, if you don't get this wheel now, like this is the race. And I think Taylor looked back and saw me coming and put a big attack in. And so then, yeah, it wasn't possible for me to get up to her. So yeah, I think she's strong and she's getting tactically really aware as well. But yeah, that was a great race for her, and I was super pleased to hold on to third and secure my third World Triathlon World title.
And yesterday, it was a really, for us, it was fun to watch. But it was you, and it was Lucy, and it was Paula, the three of you guys on the bike, and then on the run, and we saw like mile 5. And it was just really cool. There's like these three amazing women. You're from the Olympics. Lucy's got, she's won the 70.3 worlds and 4 second places. And Paula, who you've raced with in the Olympic format forever and ever. Was that pretty fun?
At the time, it wasn't that fun. But now that I look back at photos, I'm like, wow, like what a cool moment. The three of us battling it out on the run, like, really going for it. And you don't see that often in 70.3 racing. Like you see it all the time in short course racing. But yeah, for us three to come off and really be battling it out was really cool. And I look back at the pictures and I'm like, oh, that was really awesome. I guess I just wish I had a little bit more in me to really kind of, enjoy the moment a bit more and really push and to try to battle for the podium. But after the first lap, I was kind of just like hanging on, just hoping I wouldn't get caught by too many other women. Yeah, unfortunately, Lucy came by me, and then Emma Pallant came storming past me. Oh, my God,
she was flying.
Yeah, she was absolutely flying. But, yeah, it's a really cool moment now that I think back to it.
So you win the Olympic gold, and it's not just an Olympic gold. It's the first Olympic gold in the history of Bermuda, right? You have your own street. You have a Flora Duffy Day. Just talk about that from the time you win the gold to everything that happened. I think I saw it at the U.S. Open, which Bermuda was sponsoring. You were like in a box drinking champagne. All the cool stuff that happened to you had to be unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a complete whirlwind from the moment I crossed that line until, months afterwards.
Yeah.
Just so many opportunities opened up, so much media exposure. Obviously, everyone in Bermuda was going crazy because it's our first gold medal. And that was a really special moment to hear the stories of everyone while they were watching and what it meant to them. My parents went to a local bar that was full of people there, cheering and crying and chanting. And then I would hear from people that were sitting in their houses and they could hear their neighbors going crazy as I crossed the line. And yeah, it was just really special and very emotional. And I think, when a sport becomes bigger than you, bigger than just the swim, bike, and run, I think it makes it, even more meaningful.
Well, and you and Tyler Butterfield have been doing this for so long and really making Bermuda people aware of the country, right? And you're in 9 days, you're going head to head with Taylor in Bermuda.
Yes, round 2 with Taylor. In Bermuda, so on my home turf, and instead of starting in 30 Fahrenheit, we'll be starting in 30 Celsius,
nice.
Which is a little bit more to my liking. But what's really cool is we have 2 other Bermudians racing, Erica Holy and Tyler Smith.
Yes.
So I think that's pretty special that we have 3 Bermudians racing at the World Triathlon level. It's pretty incredible for a tiny island. Yeah. Tyler Butterfield's actually been doing a lot of training with me in Boulder. He helped me immensely in my Commonwealth Games preparation this year. It's really cool to see how the sport's developing and more people getting involved in the sport in Bermuda.
I always enjoy when athletes give back. And seeing the Brownlee Foundation and seeing Nicola Spirig and Jan Frodeno building a little pump track. And talk a little bit about what you do in Bermuda.
Yeah, so in 2018, I launched the Flora Fund, and the goal was to give back to the sporting community that's given me so much, and to keep doors open for young athletes pursuing the sport. And that doesn't have to necessarily be at the super high level, just keeping them involved with sport, because I've always believed it's, can open doors and create opportunities.
Yes.
And so, thus far it's a small start, but it's something I want to continually build as my career goes on and after my career. And we've helped many athletes from a wide variety of sports, from gymnastics to motocross, some swimming, some running, triathlon. It's been really special and meaningful to hear what it's meant and to follow the young athletes' journeys. And when I got into this sport many years ago, I never thought I would have the platform to be able to do this.
Yes.
And I think it's, up there with one of the kind of the most special things that sport has enabled me to be able to do.
When you talk about charity and triathlon, I think one of the main deals is swimming, biking, running, weight training. It's about me. It's about my racing. It can be very selfish. I'm betting that having your charity makes your training and racing way more meaningful.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is a very selfish pursuit, endurance sport, particularly triathlon. I mean, your life revolves around it. And especially for, after I accomplished such a big goal in Tokyo, it was kind of like, well, what's next? What else? And so, being able to build this fund and have the profile that it can be meaningful and people want to support it, and it's helped some young individuals. It's really incredible and something that I hope can continue to grow. And then once I've stopped racing, just be a nice sustainable thing that is helping Bermudian athletes achieve their goals.
When I look at your background between 6-time Xterra champion and Commonwealth Games champion and ITU cross triathlon champion, just so versatile. You've done so many different things. 4-time Olympian, 8, 12, 16, and 20. When you first went to the Olympics in 2008, that's a learning experience. What did you learn during those Olympics that led to the gold medal in 2020?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been a big journey for me. And I think I've got to keep that perspective with 70.3 because this is definitely a world title I would like to win. And it doesn't just happen overnight, right?
No.
My Olympic gold definitely did not happen overnight, or any of my other world titles. It's a long progression. And each Olympics I went to, I was at a different point in my career and had a very different experience at each one. And I think the biggest learning I took was probably from 2016 in Rio, because that was the first one I went into and I had a little bit of this medal contender pressure and expectation, which is massive. And it's something that I've never been exposed to before. I mean, you can go into a race as a contender for a world title, but the Olympics is just a whole nother level of exposure and eyes on you.
Yes.
So I think that was my biggest lesson. And although it was difficult for me at the time in Rio because I didn't quite have the race I wanted, it set me up so perfectly for Tokyo that I knew what to expect. I had 5 years instead of 4
oh my God, yes.
to get comfortable with being the Olympic favorite, expressing that, and being confident that, yes, that's the space I'm in. I know I can go for gold. I know I can do this. And ultimately, that led to me being able to stand on that start line, being really confident that if everything, fell into place and I executed a great race, that it could be mine.
Well, and it was interesting watching that race on TV, and multiple loops on the bike, and there's going to have a few loops on a run. You came off the bike and it's like you were shot out of a cannon, right? Obviously, you'd been preparing for that moment for your whole life and knew, okay, let's get the hell off the bike because I'm going to win this race on the run. Was that the mindset?
Yes, I mean, I was very confident in my running, and I think everyone will remember that it was a typhoon that was rolling past Tokyo. So the conditions we expected, dry, hot, and sunny, were not there. It was wet, windy on a very technical course. So yes, we were riding the course fast, but we were also trying to be as safe as possible because I think we all were like, no one wants to crash at the Olympics. We all want to finish this race. So the goal was get off the bike in a great place, and then I don't know. Sometimes you just kind of never know how well you're going to run off of the bike, but that was a day that I felt great and I could just kind of like run forever at whatever pace. I mean, realistically, but yeah, it was just a great day where all the pieces fell together. And I will say that leading the Olympics, it's definitely something you have to really control your mind and your emotions. So yeah, I didn't let myself allow that I was going to, believe that I was going to win until literally the last kilometer of the race.
When you guys train and race and travel together, there's a camaraderie that builds, right? And you and Katie Sfires are very close. You knew that her father had passed and how tough. You were as excited as anybody seeing Katie come in and know that she had gotten the bronze medal, knowing what she had gone through.
Oh, yeah. I mean, of course, I think, we do all train together. Well, not train together. We do race together and we see each other often. And Katie is a friend of mine. And I knew she had many like ups and downs leading into that, of course, with her father's passing and then a difficult selection.
Right.
And then even the previous year at the test event, she crashed out, which given her form at the time would have been an auto selection. And there was just so many moving pieces that it was just beautiful to see her put it all together, overcome that all, and execute the race that we all knew she was capable of. And it was just a total spontaneous reaction to see her coming down the chute and I'm jumping. And I think Tommy captured that photo, her husband. Yep. And it's a really special memory. And I think, those things are really important and special about doing sport together. It's a photo I'll look back on in many years' time.
Absolutely. And with in the bummer about you had 5 years to prepare for Tokyo, 3 years for Paris, right? Now it's accelerated. Paris is in the plans.
Yes, I know. I feel like I'm getting a little gypped on my having time to be the reigning Olympic champion.
What type
it's
of
only
crap is
3
that?
years.
Yeah.
And years gone by. But before the Tokyo, I said I'm never doing this again. It's way too much pressure. But then, as the months went by, I was like, oh, it would be really awesome to go back and have my friends there, have my family there, race, hopefully in a normal Olympics.
You're right,
and
with
just
crowds
enjoy the experience. It'll be my last games and just soak it all in. I'm pretty committed, and I'm still really enjoying the short course racing. And I still, think I'm doing reasonably well at it.
Yes,
so if I can go back for my 5th Olympics, that would be great.
And one of my favorite photos from yesterday was here you are, and from the cold and everything else, your back is basically seized up. And at the Ironman finish, you come up a little ramp and then you go down a little ramp, and you're looking at that ramp like, I'm going down Mount Everest right now, and I can't get down there. And there's Paula Finley and Taylor Knibb there to help guide you down. That camaraderie among the athletes is so special.
Yeah, that was a really special moment. And again, you captured a really nice photo of it. So thank you. But yeah, I was grateful for those two to be there. I was really suffering towards the end of that run. Like the cold did not do well for me. I've looked back at some photos of me on the bike and I'm like, oh gosh. So yeah, I was grateful for them and obviously thrilled that they both had the races that they wanted.
Yes.
And yeah, grateful for some helping hands to get me down that little ramp.
Flora, congratulations on 5th place. Was it a tough decision to come here knowing you've got Bermuda in 9 days?
Yeah, it definitely was. But this year I wanted to do some new stuff. I wanted to explore the 70.3 distance. So that kind of helped me push it over the line. And I think 9 days is enough to recover.
Plenty.
I'm hoping. We'll see. We'll see who recovers better between me or Taylor.
Very fun. Flora Duffy has been our guest. Thank you so much for taking time. I know you want to go watch all the boys race.
Yeah, it looks like a really thrilling race out there.
I love it. Flora Duffy has been our guest again. Breakfast with Bob Championship Edition. Hold on. We will be right back.